Most people think wealth happens overnight. They imagine some lucky break, a viral business idea, or a massive paycheck that changes everything. But here's the truth. Real wealth doesn't come from grand gestures or lightning strikes of fortune. It comes from the tiny decisions you make every single day that nobody sees or celebrates. Today, we're diving into something backed by science and proven by millionaires. We're talking about small wins and how they rewire your brain to build long-term wealth. Have you ever started a diet on Monday, absolutely crushed it for 3 days, then found yourself face deep in pizza by Friday night? Or opened a savings account, saved $50, then never touched it again? That's not a willpower problem. That's a dopamine problem. Once you understand how your brain works, everything changes. Here's what happens inside your head. Every time you accomplish something, even something tiny, your brain releases dopamine. It's the same chemical that makes you feel amazing when you get likes on social media or finish a great workout. Dopamine isn't just about feeling good, though. It's your brain's way of saying, hey, that felt great. Let's do it again. It creates a reward loop that makes you crave more progress. Harvard scientists spent years studying this and found something fascinating. When people experience small wins, their motivation absolutely skyrockets. Not because the win was huge, but because it proves progress is possible. Your brain stops seeing the goal as an impossible mountain and starts seeing it as achievable steps. So what does this look like with money? Let's say you're drowning in debt. You owe $30,000 on credit cards, and every time you think about it, you feel paralyzed. The number is so big it doesn't even feel real. But here's what happens when you flip the script. Instead of obsessing over $30,000, you focus on paying off $500 this month. When you hit that goal, dopamine floods your system. You feel accomplished and capable. Suddenly, the next $500 doesn't seem scary. You stack one small win on another, and before you know it, you're addicted to progress. That's the power of small wins. They change your identity. You stop being someone who's bad with money and start being someone who crushes financial goals. But there's another layer most people miss. It's not just psychology, it's math. Ever heard of the compound effect? Small actions, repeated consistently over time, create massive results. Let's talk real numbers. Imagine you have two friends who take completely different approaches. Friend A decides to save $5 a day. Friend B says, that's not enough. I'm going to wait until I can save $500 a month. Sounds smart, right? But here's what actually happens. Friend A saves $5 every single day for a year. That's $1,825. Not life-changing money, but it's real. Now let's say they invest it and get an average 8% return annually. After 10 years of saving just $5 a day, they've got over $27,000. After 30 years, that number jumps to over $200,000 from $5 a day. Meanwhile, friend B keeps waiting for the perfect moment to save that $500. Life gets in the way. The car breaks down, the rent goes up. They save sporadically, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 here and there, but without consistency. Compounding never kicks in. 10 years later, they've got a fraction of what friend A has, even though their plan sounded more ambitious. That's the trap we all fall into. We overestimate what we can do in a single day and dramatically underestimate what we can do in a decade. Small wins don't feel impressive today, but stack them up over years, and they become unstoppable. I know what you're thinking. What if I can't afford $5 a day? Start with $1 a day or $20 a week. The amount doesn't matter as much as the habit. Once you build consistent saving habits, your brain starts looking for ways to increase it. You start noticing where you're wasting money. You cancel subscriptions you forgot about. You pack lunch twice a week instead of buying it. You negotiate a better rate on your car insurance. These aren't massive changes, but they compound, not just financially, but mentally. Every small win builds your financial confidence, and that confidence leads to bigger decisions. Behavioral economists studied how people accumulate wealth and found something surprising. It's not about how much you earn. It's about your financial habits. Many millionaires had average incomes but disciplined habits. They automated savings, lived below their means, and reinvested earnings. Small wins, over and over, for decades. Those habits didn't start as habits. They started as decisions. One small decision to transfer $50 into savings, another to skip an impulse purchase, another to track spending. Each decision was easy, almost boring, but together they created a system. Systems beat goals every single time, no exceptions. If you set a goal to lose 20 pounds but don't build the system of exercising and eating well, you gain it all back. Same with money. If your goal is saving $10,000 but you don't build the system, you'll slip back into old habits. Small wins aren't just about reaching a destination. They're about building the system that keeps you there. So how do you actually start? Here's the playbook. Step 1. Pick one small financial win you can achieve this week. Maybe it's saving $10, maybe it's canceling a subscription, or maybe it's reading one article about investing. Step 2. Track it carefully. Write it down. Put it in your phone. Take a screenshot of your savings account. Your brain needs proof that progress is happening. Step 3. Celebrate it properly. I'm serious. You need to tell yourself, I did that. That's a win. It sounds cheesy, but remember, dopamine is what keeps you going. If you don't acknowledge the win, your brain doesn't register it. Step 4. Stack another win on top of it, then another, then another. That's it. That's the whole system. Small wins don't mean thinking small or limiting your vision. You can still have big dreams. You absolutely should have big dreams. But the way you reach those dreams is by breaking them into small, achievable actions that you can do today. If you want to retire early, that's a big dream. But the small win is automating a $50 transfer into your retirement account this week. If you want to buy a house, that's a big dream. But the small win is cutting $100 from your monthly expenses so you can start building your down payment. Big dreams need small wins to become reality. And here's the best part. Once you start stacking small wins with money, it spills over into every other area of your life. You start applying the same principle to your health, your career, and your relationships. Because you've trained your brain to see progress as something you can create, not something you wait for. Wealth isn't about luck or perfect timing. It's not even about how much you make right now. It's about what you do consistently over time. And it starts with one small win. So ask yourself, what's the one small financial win you can create today? Because years from now, when you look back at the moment everything changed, it won't be a lottery ticket or a big promotion. It'll be the day you decided that small wins were enough, and then you stacked another and another, until one day you looked up and realized you built the life you always wanted, one small win at a time.